Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, I'm going to do a ghost swipe. I know I do ghost swipes a bit, but I love them and I'm trying out, I've used these paints once before and it worked out really well. Every time I walk past it, it just shimmers, it lights up. So I'm going to use them again, just different colours. So, what I have here is Folkart Treasured Gold. So, I've got 4 colours this time. I'm using Fire Opal, Gold, Light Amethyst, and Blue Quartz. Sorry, I was reading the wrong part of the tub. So really nice colours. So purple, blue, a red, and a gold. So kind of like, well, the blue, the red, and the yellow kind of make primary in a way, but I'm also adding the amethyst in there. Why not? I love purple. So, those are the colours. But what I'm doing is I'm doing a darker base. So, this time I'm doing a base of a deep, well, it's not really a dark grey. It's a medium grey, I'd say. It was supposed to be a little bit lighter, but once you add the black, you can't take it back. So this was 32 grams white and 5 grams black. It was only supposed to have 3 grams black. But I still think these colours will actually work quite well with this darker grey. So I'm keeping it. I could adjust it and try to add more white, but I got to add a lot more white. Then I'll have more paint. Just thought, no, just stick with it. So that's the plan. So, like normal, I am going to do the base. I've cut my little swipe cards, and you can use anything you like. I'm using paint chips that I have cut in half. They work out very good for me. So what we do here is we pour on the base. I don't always like scraping the cups when I mix colours, because sometimes you may get a stream or just a tiny little spot that you haven't actually got the paint out of properly, and then it will show up. So I've scraped a tiny bit, but not really. Now, palette knife, we want this canvas covered, especially because we're using a dark colour. We want this to be covered pretty good. So I just get my palette knife and I just coat the corners and the sides. When I say the corners, I also mean like the edge of the canvas, like that little bit where it just kind of tips over. I will be tilting this to make the paint even, but it always works, the paint always moves better when it's got a wet surface to go on. And I hope my head's not too much in the way. I had a haircut, so it shouldn't be too messy. So we're just going along and doing all 4 sides and corners. You can use whatever tool you want to do this. I like palette knives. I'm comfortable with it now because it's what I've used for so long. The main part is to get this proper corner where there's a fold in the actual material. Reposition my feet. I'm very much a right-handed person. I can't do a lot left-handed, so I often have to position myself around the canvas instead of actually just changing hands, but that's just me. Now, this is one thing that does sometimes happen when I use a darker colour. It's like when they make the canvas, some parts get a little, there must be a little bit of oil in their system where they make it. So sometimes you get a little bit of separation on the paint and the canvas, like it doesn't want to stick. It also happens when I use a lot of floetrol, so it could just be the floetrol reacting with whatever is there. So you don't seem to get it on the front, on the main canvas, more on the edges. So in saying that, it's good that there's a little bit of paint left over that I didn't scrape out of my container, because if I have to, I can always go back and just do that little touch up. I actually have to clear my paint table. I've got some of these paints still sitting here and they're sometimes getting in my way, depending on the size of the canvas. Nearly done the top, the sides. Now I'm just gonna go over the surface. So as you can see, there's a reasonable amount of paint here, but I am going to tilt. And I mentioned how much paint, but I don't think I mentioned how much floetrol, did I? 135 grams of floetrol. So it's approximately a 4:1 ratio for the base. When I did the mixing of the paints, I did it a 3:1, except for the black. I did add a little bit of extra because it wasn't as thin as the folkart treasured gold paints. So I did make up a black. The black is Holcroft Professional. Where did I put that one? Holcroft Professional. So I always try to do one. I find when I use the black, I get more cells or lacing. So that's why I added that. Now, my gloves, because I am going to tilt this canvas now, just to make this paint completely even. So part of this will end up being off camera, like you won't be able to see it properly, but you'll get the gist. So as you can see, there's still a fair bit of paint here. I'm going to change directions. I was going to lose chimney off the edge before I got it to coat, which I still am going to lose a bit. Okay, over that corner and side, bringing it the other direction. You guys can tell what I'm doing. You just want a smooth coating over the canvas. Next corner, over that corner. Now tilt this way and go over this side and corner. Now when I put this down, I'm going to show you that little imperfection I was telling you about when you mix colours. See how it looked like there was a lot of paint, but because you start tipping it off, it does actually slow down. And by the time I've got it over all four corners, it's actually not moving a lot at all. I'll put that there for a second. Grab some of this paint, just dab that because it just didn't want to move at that spot. Okay, it's coated that side. Now we're bringing it back to this last corner, which mostly went over but not fully. So can you see in that, near that bottom corner, there's that little black squiggle? That's virtually where the black paint and the white paint didn't mix fully to make the grey. So it's kind of left a little black squiggle. That should disappear while doing a lot of this tilting. But that's one thing that happens sometimes when you mix two colours. You don't want to scrape out the bottom of the container just in case there is some of that happening. We are nearly there. If you run your finger down there and grab some extra, you can sometimes just dab a little bit on where it doesn't want to move, and then pick it up and continue tilting. Okay. Alright, that's done. Now I'm just going to bring it back the weight of the paint. There's not much weight of the paint left, so I won't have to do this a lot. That should be fine. Now, place it down. I am going to remove my gloves because I don't need that for my main artwork, just for when I do the tilting. I'm going to come back and check my camera angle. Let's pull it a little bit more this way. Better lighting at this end. There you go, and you guys can see that. Might move that light, see if that makes a difference. Alright, my tool's over here. Get yourself a paper towel to wipe your paint cards on. Got a little bit of paint on me. Let me check. Yeah, we're still recording. Awesome. Now, these colours that I have made up are slightly duller at the moment because I've mixed them with floetrol. They will re-shine once that they are drying. It's just the floetrol dulls the metallics while it's opaque, but when it becomes transparent, you get the full effects of them again. So that's the amethyst, blue quartz. Give everything a little stir before you pour. The fire opal, gold, and the black. The black doesn't need as much stirring because it's a plain colour, not a metallic. Now what we're going to do is work out what order to pour these. I think I might go blue, purple, red, gold, black. Now, don't over... So pour it just off the canvas. But I'm not going to use a lot of paint. Oh, I have to be careful because I haven't mixed up a lot. And go off the canvas to off the canvas. See how it spreads? Metallics will do that. Now again, off to off. I can make that little drip go somewhere. There we go. Fire opal, I'm going to kind of cross these lines slightly differently. So the fire opal is kind of like, it looks red, but you get like a gold shimmer in it. Now the worst colour that doesn't look gold is the gold, but it will dry. Beautiful. Hope these colours all look good together. I think they will when they dry. And now the black. I'm just going to not overdo it with the black. I want it to be thinnish. A thinner line, not so heavy. It is sinking a little bit into the metallics, but not when it's on the base coat. One last little drip, there we go. Okay, now, paint cards, there we go. Knew I'll put them somewhere close by. Like I've always said, start off the just off the canvas, pull towards you and lift either direction. I'm going to go slowish. I'm going to try not to over swipe this fast. So swipe and then wipe. And then go to the next one. Swipe, lift, and wipe. I think that's the middle of the canvas. And we're just going to keep going along. See how I get more cells where the black is? That's why I add it. You can add other colours, but I think the black with the metallics just shines that little bit better. That one there didn't get a lot of metallic in it, but that's fine. We always want these to be a little bit different to each other. Even though mine all come out quite similar, they're never identical. I've tried to create identical and it doesn't work. I've done these with colour shift paints. I've done this with quite a few different paints and styles. I'm going to fold over my paper towel and I'm going to turn my swipe card around and use the fresh side, starting to get a bit soggy and bends. I'm just trying to be calm about this and not rush anything. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure down. I put enough pressure to drag the colour the whole way, but not to kind of squish it out of shape. Now, this last swipe is one of the harder ones. Don't push hard at all because you'll hit the wood frame. There we go. Cool. I think this is going to be quite nice once it's dry. Also, you won't see the full effects of this in the video just because it won't be dry. There's nothing I can do about that. But usually my photo of it, like the thumbnail picture, is usually the dried artwork. Depending on what I'm doing. In this case, I think it will need to be the dried artwork to actually see what it looks like. I'm turning mine around because I cannot swipe away from me. I can only swipe towards me. I don't know why. I just will make wonky lines and it will look horrible. So I have done it, but I won't do it anymore. I always find swiping my cards towards me gives me my best results. But look at those cells developing or lacing in there with different colours. Really pleased. I'm going to get rid of that paper towel and that swipe card and get fresh ones. And then we just go again, but try and grab where you grabbed before so there's not too much just paint that you'd left sitting in the middle. And try not to touch the canvas with your fingers either, or your knuckles. That one's pretty. That's got all the colours in it. I can see gold, red, blue and amethyst in that one swipe. We're just going along. I can feel there's a little bit more paint where I am now. And my card's bending, so I'm turning it around. It stopped me from getting the sideways point. I tried lifting it to one side and it ended up just lifting in the middle. So if that happens, just grab another card or turn it around. There we go. I'm going to get rid of that card. This side's got more paint, or I'm touching more paint, which means these are getting soggier quicker. So I'm swapping my card out for another one. There we go. Much more cleaner. Oh, beautiful cells. So my other one I did of these paints is on the wall behind a cabinet, so I can't actually reach it. But the colour, the shine from it is just magnificent. I actually think that had more gold showing. This isn't going to have as much gold showing, so let's hope this actually turns out just as pretty. Now again, we just want to slightly touch that and just bring a little bit down. This is not necessity, but I swipe my sides a little bit. Oh, let me have a look. No, I'm not going to. Sometimes I swipe the sides to kind of make it look a bit like the front, but the way that they're dripping down the sides is a little bit different and I quite like it. So I'm leaving that as is. Now, I love these colours. This is actually looking way more cooler, wet than I thought it would be. I thought it would look awesome dry, but it's actually looking pretty cool wet as well. So, yay! I wanted to do a painting for Easter and I didn't know what to do. And I thought these would be nice kind of, not really Easter egg colours, but usually when I think of Easter colours, I think of pastels. And these are relatively pastel. I'll do that after. Now, that's it. All as I can do now is just bring you down for a close-up and then let this dry. Oh, I'm so excited actually. So I'm going to pause it while I bring you down. Okay, now I know this ring light is annoying, but if I turn it off, I think it becomes just too dark. Oh, it's not too bad. See how those colours are kind of glowing on that darker background? That's exactly what I wanted, especially when the light will hit it. It just will shine. But look at the colours. You can see that fire opal, the blue quartz, the gold, and the amethyst. So, the black's only there to add contrast, and the black is what is bringing up these cells and this lacing. Like, look at that. One side's amethyst, one side's fire opal. Got some beautiful ones over here in the fire opal colour. And that lacing goes all the way along. Ooh, look at this area. That's pretty. And so is that. So this is the fun part about this. You kind of get different areas. If I added a little bit more black, I would have got more lacing, but then it could make it too heavy and too dark. So, I worry about adding too much sometimes. But, yeah. I hope you guys like this. I can't wait to show you the actual dried piece. So usually the thumbnail will be the dried piece. So have a look at that and let me know what you think. But yeah, so this, what do I call this? Treasured gold, well, yeah, treasured gold ghost swipe, I think. Hopefully you guys like this as much as I did. So leave me a comment, like, share it, and subscribe if you have not already. And sharing my videos really does help me, guys. It lets more people see the videos and then more people will watch. So I have been having fun. I've been really busy, so I haven't posted as frequently as I want to. But I'm trying to get back into it and we'll see what happens soon in the future. So there we go. Have a great evening and I will see you soon for another pour. All right, bye.